Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. One more thing I wanted to add before we get started here is that I will pick up on the energies of the cards based on the surrounding cards. And the meanings will come through differently every time based on the other cards that are there in the reading. And I get asked this a lot, like how come the meaning of the card is changing? Because the surrounding cards are changing. And I will periodically explain to you why I say what I say because of the energies of the cards that are there in the reading at that point in time. And I also give you references to the energies that are picked up on the prior cards. And that will affect the meaning of the cards that come after that. So I just wanted to put it out there so that you're mindful of which cards are paired up in the reading. Now, let's get to it. So the first card you have, Aries, today is the self-care, and it says balance. It further says, taking time to replenish your mind, body, and soul is a must. Enjoy this time to reconnect and make yourself a priority. Ask yourself what is serving me and what is taking from me. That's absolutely right, Balance in give and take, can change our entire routine, our personality, and much, much more. Let me read further. It says, much can be revealed when you stop putting yourself at the bottom of the list. Absolutely. I mean, certainly, that's the balance, that you don't need to be at the top of the list where you actually can be, but you don't have to be at the bottom for sure. I mean, taking care of yourself also should be a priority on a day-to-day basis. So, and taking care of yourself doesn't really mean like going to the spa every single day. It just means eating right. It means sleeping right. It means taking time to actually just eating well, like mindfully eating, like be present when you're eating, not on the phone scrolling. It's called, what is it called? The scrolling part, it's called, there is a term, maybe. It's slipping my mind right now. But anyway, there is a term for mindless scrolling on the phone, while you're eating specifically. So avoid that if you can, for those of you that actually do that. And just other, try to change your habits a little bit, routines a little bit, like, maybe take a hot shower before you sleep, or read a book before you sleep, or put on some calm music before you sleep, rather than watch some random videos, and that really changes the sleep patterns. It changes the kind of sleep we have, whether it's, whether it's a distracted sleep, a half sleep, or full sleep, or deep sleep. It actually changes the way we sleep. It changes the posture in which we sleep. And making these small changes, it just makes us feel, it changes our experience the next day. The way you wake up, the way you get to work, everything changes about that day. Believe it or not, I have tried it and it actually is true. So let me read further. It says, this is your strategic power up. The universe is not asking you to extinguish your magnificent fire. And absolutely, Aries, you are the fire crackers, right? You're the pioneers. You are the babies, the starters, the Martians of the zodiac, ruled by you're ruled by Mars. Oh yeah. So let me read further. It says the universe is not asking you to extinguish your magnificent fire, but to become the master of it. By building a stable, grounded foundation of well-being, you ensure that your legendary drive has the fuel to conquer not just a single battle, but the entire war. See this not as a stop sign, but as a pit stop, a necessary intelligent pause that will allow you to cross the finish line faster, stronger, and healthier than ever before. Your greatest conquest now is inner peace. And that's exactly what I feel. You're working towards that. You're making the changes. And, I feel that you're very selective with your time, your energy, where you invest your resources into, for that matter. And this will actually, if you try it out for a few days, for a few weeks, it will calm you down. It'll make you feel more present. It'll make you feel, uh, it'll make you feel more present, more focused. I would like to say also more focused, more fresher. Even like I said, it changes our next day experiences. So I do feel that Aries, this is like, uh, incorporates a meditation, yoga, strength training, uh, hiking, biking, spending time in nature. It will actually make you more energetic. It will change your routine to a more healthier routine. Um, and because you're ruled by Mars, I feel that you're in a rush for doing things. You want everything done yesterday. But I feel that it's okay, even if it takes a day or two more to accomplish the same task, it's okay. So I do feel that you're also trying to balance out other aspects of your life. Now, this is, of course, self-care, but self-care doesn't just include the physical part of it. It also includes taking care of your budget, right? So that we have the money to invest into the right things. So I feel that this is also a call to a good plan for your budget, for your finances, so that you can invest in your healthcare as well, in your health, and for going out to meditation, group meditation practices for joining the gym if you wish to, or buying the right kind of shoes for your exercise workouts, jogging, hiking. We need those funds in place as well. So self-care doesn't just mean physical aspect, that I feel the emotional aspect, the financial aspect, holistic self-care. This is also about balancing your day-to-day workload as well, work pressure. Don't just burn yourself out. Spend some time. I learned about a management technique, and it's called the Pomodoro technique. And that Pomodoro technique, look it up. I'll just give you a very short brief about it, but it's a very important management technique that I learned, was that you work in 25-minute sprints, right? Like you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. And, it's proven to create the perfect balance of action, work, and rest. And this will increase your productivity a hell lot. I mean, try it out and you will see the results. There's, and similar to that, it just comes to me right now when I was reading my theology as a subject. I learned about a concept called as a middle pillar. Middle, MIDDLE, middle pillar. And that's the way that you balance out your chakras, your energy centers, so called. It lies along the center line of your body. And when you balance that out, when you activate those energy centers, which is the middle pillar of our body, it actually creates the entire holistic, balance in our body. If you balance out the chakras. So try these practices out and make it a non-negotiable thing, right? You need this every single day. So that you go the distance. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of you'll run into a lot of physical problems. So don't hesitate from taking these moments off for for rest, for exercise, for play even. And when you balance your routine in this way, you'll actually see very calm. You won't be in a rush for things. You won't be anxious about things. You won't be racing in your thoughts. You'll learn the importance of pausing in your day-to-day routines. Pausing between your back-to-back schedules, that kind of pause, you mean. Because if you're not going to take care of yourself, you'll run out empty. And you know that nobody can pour out from an empty cup. So these breaks are intentional, to make it intentional. Now, it further says over here, true strength is not in constant motion, but in knowing when to be still. Your power grows in the quiet moments of recharge. That's exactly what this says. Well rested body goes a long way. When you're well rested, your mind is rested, your body is rested. Um, and of course, Aries, you have that legendary drive. Aries are popular for that. You have that endurance to go, to keep going, to keep doing. But take periodic breaks. Because you see over here, there is life for earth, there is a life for air. And I feel that earth is because stay connected more to earth, stay grounded. And these, self-care practices will actually keep you grounded. It will allow you to sleep better. It'll allow you to, care for yourself better. You'll find the true balance and harmony in yourself. And it'll show you tangible results. There is an earth life over here. And there is also an air element to this, which means that you're starting to understand the why behind the self-care. Now, another thing I'm picking up on this is like the balance. Now, balance can come in several forms. You could be practicing how to balance, like, riding bikes or, doing yoga poses that require you to create that balance on a foot. You could be doing those kind of exercises as well. But this is also the yin and yang balance that needs to happen. These complementary forces, they need to be well balanced. There are a lot of practices these days that help balance that, like Tai Chi's there. Even acupuncture does that. But I fear some of you might be into those kind of practices like, Tai Chi and acupuncture. And if you haven't tried it, try it because it really helps to balance out the energy centers and balance out your yin and yang inside. So now you probably will hear a lot of, now see, the self-care energy is for you, Aries, but it also plays out globally. And I'll tell you, like some of you might be taking some kind of maternity leaves or leave of absence to take care of yourself or your family or your kids. So some of you could be doing that as well. Some of you might be, I'm picking up an energy of Aries who want to get some helpers around the house because they're tired of doing the work, so they need some help. And I feel that when you do that, when you hire some house help, some helpers, it will free up your time and energy for you to take care of yourself. So some of you might be shifting your mindset with that as well. And the song that comes to mind, Aries, for you is, Bomb. The next card you have, Aries, is the Tadpole Furu Star Cloud. Now, it says, this is a direct invitation to play in the fields of infinite possibility. The universe is handing you a magic wand and asking, what do you want to create? Do not overthink it. Your role is not to question the magic, but to point your fiery will and passion at the most exciting spark of light you see in the cloud and give it form. Your ideas are alive, they are evolving, and they are ready to shine. Just as sudden inspirations. Take the first small brave step. You are not just building a future, you are conjuring it from stardust and dreams. Let your life become your most brilliant work of art. This is very good energy out here for you, Aries. I do feel that you are getting inspirations, downloads, thinking outside the box. There's brainstorming that's happening. I do feel that you're highly creative and you're putting it to good use, or you're asked to put it to good use, or asked to use those ideas, not just let it be there in the clouds, but actually make something out of it. So I do feel that you are encouraged here to create something out of your ideas, get creative. And I do feel that a lot of you are already in the process of it. Either you're starting out or you have a plan or you're assembling resources or you're already in the middle of it and then giving it a new touch or a new way of doing it or presenting it or creating it or something like that. I'm getting the image of like, the kids when they play with their toys or Legos. Like, for example, they're able to create 80 of those Legos or the blocks even that's available to them, with those same pieces of Legos. There's so many things that they can create. Some of them, are creative enough that they don't even need those instructions to put something together. And some, of course, they're able to create multiple things from those instructions. And then, when they create something with the Lego, they mix, mountains from pillows or they create tassels from pillows and things like that. That's the kind of energy. Now, some of you might be working with kids and their creativity, or your kids are getting creative and they're around you and you're watching their creativity. So it could play out in so many other ways. But I feel that this is not the time to sleep on those ideas. It's like, go for it. It's the green light from the universe. I'm also getting, an energy of like, it says tadpoles. Tadpoles are transformative energies. Like they go from being tadpoles to being frogs, like really fast. So there is a quick transformation energy with this as well, with the tadpole energy out here. So I do feel there is change, there is evolution, there is growth, there is potential, and there is magic to that transformation. So something's changing, into something really brilliant, because it's a photostar cloud. There is brilliance around it. There is a huge potential. Clouds, we cannot contain them. It's like huge, right? So there is something magical that's happening or that's going to happen. If others says your thoughts are powerful seeds of light right now, nurture them with your belief and take the first small action. It's all about going for it, because something that you're thinking working can actually evolve into something priceless, into something as bright as a star. So don't even think, don't back out from your idea saying that it's not going to happen, it's impossible. Everything that you envision right now, and if you assemble the resources in the right way, you can make it happen, whether yourself or with the team. So there is growth, there is creative growth, there is expansion. Just keep on working, stay curious, stay creative like the child. I think that's why I'm pulling the child energy, because it encourages you to experiment, to try, to get creative. And you will be able to manifest whatever you're trying to do. And it will come too fast because there is speed associated with this sort of star cloud. There is speed. I'm also getting that your idea, your imagination is powerful right now, and I feel that whatever you're working on, it'll turn out beautiful. Like I'm just getting magical, it'll turn out something magical. And, with the pioneering spirit Aries that you have, I feel that this energy is encouraging you to just go forward, in exciting ways. Don't think that, how will you conceptualize it? How will you make it happen? Because people are just working on things that are unimaginable these days, right? They're going to Mars. I mean, going to Mars, and there's so much more that's going on. There's metaverse that you can have cities and you can have cities and do so much in the metaverse. We already know about that. That's the cloud of ideas. Metaverse is that cloud of ideas for real. So the only caveat with this energy is don't scatter your energy. Don't shove too many things at once, so that you're able to focus, give your attention and time to the one sparkly idea that you have. Now, I'm also getting a virtual reality kind of access. Some of you might be working in the virtual reality. Like, we have this virtual, you put on the glasses and you can actually see things pop out in 3D, like we saw the movie Avatar. Oh, the Avatar reminds me is like perfect, Emma, a perfect of this energy, right? It is, because it is, for those of you who have seen the Avatar, especially the world of Pandora, which is like, it's an ecosystem which is bioluminescent. And that's where, how are the creatures connecting in that movie? It's like so new, so so, what you call that, neurological, so different, and there's floating and flowing spirits, and there's, things that are happening in that movie. It's the actual manifestation of this tadpole forest or cloud energy. So I do feel that whatever innovative ideas you have, Aries, go for it. Even if it seems futuristic, we are going to head into the future. So it's okay even if it's futuristic down the line. Eventually, the society will catch up with those futuristic things and skills, whatever you're doing. I also feel that some of you could be into video games and designing on things like that, or reading 3D movies, 3D artwork, and things like that. So some of you could be into that. There is Coldplay. They have the song. It's called "A Sky Full of Stars" from Coldplay, and the words are like, cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart." That's the romanticized version of this energy. I feel that, a friend of mine wanted to actually visit Sweden, and she was working for a company, and she really wanted to visit Sweden, and you would not believe it, in 2 months, I believe it was 2 or 3 months, that she was hoping, and they actually sent her on a project to Sweden. And we were like with our mouths wide open. We were like, how did you manifest that kind of a thing? It's like she pulled that idea out of thin air and manifested it with the vision board, and she actually made it happen for her. That's the kind of energy that I'm pulling from this. So even if you see in the computing world, there's quantum computing, that's also the same energy, tadpole for a short floor. What is that, So Aries, get to work, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna pull something out of the ethers, Aries. I'm sure. I can see that. I can feel that you're gonna manifest something. Maybe as simple as a parking spot close to the store. Yeah, you could do that as well. So now I'm also getting a lot of there is like, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. I'm pulling an energy of an Aries that's, is not backing down either from an idea you have, or maybe this could be from some kind of, I wouldn't detract a little, but I'm pulling up an energy of an Aries who's not backing down. Maybe you're in a kind of a dilemma, or you're in kind of a disagreement with people or something like that. I don't I hope it's not a fight or something like that. I hope it's just like, a disagreement. And I do see Aries getting to a lot of disagreements with a lot of people, which is okay. And, you have your own. The next card you have, Aries, is the 10 of Fire, and it says self-destruction. So this is a little kind of a deck out here. I mean, mostly 10 of Fires, 10 of Wands. There's a man shown with 10 wands that is trying to move to his destination, almost there, but almost collapsing as well. Now, in this deck, it's a goddess deck. It's deck with goddesses. And here in the 10 of Fire, there is a goddess. I feel this is the snake goddess. This looks like a rattlesnake to me. But here it's up in flames. Now, it does feel that, the snake is being consumed by flames. But I just feel that, 10 of Wands is the energy of uh, Saturnian vibes, and also Sagittarius vibes. So you might have like some Sagittarius placements as well. Aries doesn't have to be. It's just the energy which is playing out. And self-destruction is all about not taking care of yourself. If Father says here, burnout, over carrying a burden to the point of collapse, and there are destructive consequences of unchecked ambition or responsibility. So that's what this actually is, what I'm picking up on, because you had the tadpole photostar cloud energy right before this, which is about growth, expansion, creating the magic. So you might be working too hard towards that. I feel that whatever you are doing right now, Aries, like maybe the routine, the lifestyle, the kind of energy that you put into things, maybe it's unsustainable for some of you, and when it says self-destruction, it's not about, a punishment. This is an energy where you need to slow down. You need to pace yourself. You need to take that break. And taking breaks is not wrong. You're not a robot, Aries. You're not a robot by any means. So, and this destruction, it's like the fire which is consuming this rattlesnake. But the thing here is that you don't need to burn yourself. You need to burn out those things. You need to burn away those things that are actually causing you to be in this kind of a situation. So, draw the line in the sand when it comes to work and responsibilities. So you probably are at a breaking point. So just know that you are at a breaking point here. Some of you might not be feeling it, or you might be feeling it. You might be having some physical challenges, or you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of things that you're doing. Maybe you're juggling too many tasks. Maybe you're multitasking way too much. You're using your mind too much. You're using your energy too much to the point of feeling burned out. Sometimes overwork can get fatal as well. So don't drive yourself to that point. You definitely need to change things up. This is not a pleasant energy to be in. Saturn is, of course, making you work, because that's what Saturn energy does. It helps you build a structure. It helps you, take things seriously. And because Ten of Wands also is a Sagittarian energy. And Sagittarius is ninth house energy, which is the house of expansion, growth, travels, higher learning, higher truths. And when we couple these two energies, these are completely different energies. See, Saturn creates those limitations, those boundaries. It makes you feel restricted. It makes you feel a little pessimistic that you're not achieving as much. But the truth is that you are. You're in Aries and you're fueled by Mars. You're ruled by Mars. And I feel that you might be doing your thing. You might be having Sagittarius placements. Maybe you want to travel a lot, and maybe the travel is burning you out. And travel for a certain point does burn us out, because travel is not just like, flying from the out of your door to your destination. It takes a lot to travel from one point to the other. So travel definitely, and there's different time zones across which travel happens, whether, if that's long distance for you. Even short distance travel, it's not, it's not easy. Like if you're traveling like a few hours every day, that also causes a certain level of burnout. So, if you have to drive, that's okay. But taking care of yourself is very, very important at this point in time. Now, for some of you, this travel itself is going to be, you will learn a lot from this, because Saturn Saturn teaches us a lot. A lot of growth happens when we learn those lessons, and you might feel a little challenged in terms of your responsibilities, but at the same time, pace yourself out. That's all you need to do. You need to be disciplined and paced out. That's when you will be able to create sustainable routines, a life which feels meaningful and purposeful. You don't need to overexert yourself. You don't need to run the marathon and launch your business. So take it one thing at a time, one step at a time. Now, we've spoken about the downsides. The upside is that Saturn will train you to be so disciplined that it will lead you to become a master of your craft or master of whatever you're doing, whether it's a job related to travel, any job, whatever you're working on. This will lead to a self mastery. That's the positive side of the Ten of Wands. It will give you that edge in your field of work. But the challenges come about because, we uphold our values. So you are working with strong values out here. You don't want to bend your values. You don't want to take shortcuts. You have a belief system. You have those higher principles that you are incorporating in your life and you work with those principles. So when you are aligned with your core values, that's when you feel like you have built a meaningful life. And that goes for everybody. And that could be any belief system. Your core values just depends on, it's going to be different for each one of you. That if you work with that integrity, aligning every action with your core values that you have, not only will you feel proud of your accomplishments because you've come a long way, you do not misstep, you do not wander in the wrong directions, you didn't take the wrong steps. There is nothing that you will feel bad about. You will respect yourself more than ever, and you're at the same time getting becoming a master of your craft. So it's a good placement, the 10 of Wands, because it's teaching you so much, but the downside is a little rough. And this energy over here, the picture, is showing that rougher side of the 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Fire in this case. It further says over here, do not ignore the signs of exhaustion, pushing through pain and fatigue until you physically or mentally crash, causing collateral damage to your health and projects. So that's what this is. Like, just recognize that, you're exhausted or you're overdoing something, and just, stop that right there. And I would say that you are at a point where, you've already put in so much work, so much energy, and it's time for you to take. And the last card today you have, Aries, is number 35. It says, you are unlike anyone else. It further says, your contradictions and complexities are interesting. Further on, it says, this is your permission slip to be fully unapologetically you. There you go, Aries. A father says the world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs your specific fire, your unique ideas, and your courageous spirit. Your individuality is your compass, your weapon, and your gift. So stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Shine in your own unique spectrum, and you will naturally attract your true tribe and your rightful destiny. You are the pioneer of your own life. Forge a path that only you could walk. This is amazing, Aries. A great way to end this reading. So you see, there's a beautiful, cute girl in this picture. She's surrounded by butterflies of all kinds, and butterfly is a huge symbol of transformation. So I do feel that things are transforming, inside of you, even in your external environment. Maybe it's the way you present yourself, it's the way you do things. Things are changing, and you are growing. I feel that with the 10 of fire energy, that there you have been burned out. You've been doing too much, but now it's time where you drop those burdens, irrespective of what needed to be done, what others are going to think of you, and things like that. And I do feel that you are, Aries, you're the first sign, you're the pioneers, you're the natural leaders of the zodiac, you're driven by Mars. So, just feel proud of who you are, your quirks, your your quirks, your individual capabilities, your individual qualities, everything that you bring to the table is different, is unique. No two people are born with the same footprint or, what do you call those? Or destiny pin, whatever, the blue pin. No two people are born the same. Even the thumb impressions are not the same. So we are all unique in our own ways. And this just reaffirms that. So be confident in who you are and stay at peace knowing that you're living your true destiny. And at this point in time, I do feel that you are feeling confident enough to express who you are. You're not backing down. You are not copying anybody. You're just, comfortable in your skin. You're comfortable with who you are and you're expressing it. Maybe you're in a meeting, maybe you're in an office space where, you have to say something, you have a suggestion, which is, not getting popular, or maybe it's a little different, but you're still going ahead and saying it, because you feel it's the right take on things or the right perspective. So you just go and share. You're not going to shy away just because it's a unique, quirky thing to say. I'm also picking up energies of some of you in office spaces that are, decorating your office spaces, or, we have the cubicles, the desks, whatever it is, you are putting things on that space, decorating it, or, putting things in that space that reflects you and your style, your personality. You're not following cookie cutter trends, or for that matter, cookie cutter fashion. You're wearing things that make you feel comfortable. You are studying subjects that you feel comfortable, not because you want to impress somebody or because your family wants you to do something, but because it makes you feel alive. It makes your soul feel alive. That's why you're going to do it. You're going to study those things. You're going to work on those things. You're going to take up those professions, those career paths that make you feel alive. Then you are going to tell your story in your unique way. And I feel that you're going to be the star of the party. I just get a vibe where you're talking and people are enjoying what you're saying just because of the way you're saying it. I mean, so I do feel that you're embracing yourself. There's a snowboarder that I follow. Her name is Chloe Kim. And I find her really unique. I mean, I haven't studied her birth chart. I have not, actually, I've not studied her birth chart, so I don't know. But I feel that she might have some Aries placements in there too. She's very fearless with her style. The skills that she has when she snowboards, it's very unique. Her style of snowboarding is very unique. And her style of presenting herself to the audience is also very unique. It's not very corporate, cookie cutter style like athletes present themselves, but she's very unique in that she shares the snacks that she loves and things like that. Things that you can relate to her. I've seen very few people do it that way, so she stands out to me in that way, Chloe Kim. So if you don't know who she is, check up, Google her up, and you'll figure what I'm talking about. Now, this could be also your unique style. If you see this girl over here, she has red hair. Some of you could be coloring your hair red or coloring your hair in different colors. To me, it just appears that indigo pink butterflies sat on her red hairs. And then you'll see the hair has some streaks of gray coloring as well. Some of you could be coloring your hair. And she's wearing a very chic kind of a dress, and she has a little cute purse beside. So some of you, it looks like a leather dress to me. So some of you might be into leather fashion as well. She reminds me of Doja Cat. For those of you who follow style and fashion, she's a style icon, and her trends, her fashion and style is so unique and so bold, and it's constantly changing. She doesn't have just one style. And this dress reminds me of Doja Cat because I follow her actively. Um, I follow these, celebrities actively because I really like how they present themselves. I like their trends. I like how what they represent in style, in sports and things like that. So that's why I actively follow them. And somehow it translates into, my messages out here because of, the something I read about them or something I saw about them kind of translates into the messages. Um, Anyways, so other than that, I also am picking up energies of for you guys styling your home, not just your own self, but styling your home. Maybe you're building homes that are very different from others. That also could be it because nowadays we're seeing trends of how new statement homes, as they call it, where they're converting school buses or they're converting containers like ship containers and all of that and making it like turning it into living spaces. Even the concept of dwelling units or tiny homes or um, you know living out of recreational vehicles and things like that. It's like a lot of people are not now they're expressing themselves, their unique styles. They want to travel, they want to live small, they like tiny spaces because it's cozy. They can style it in their own ways, they can live minimalistic styles, they can live in nature. So they are choosing different housing model styles, and that's a very unique way to express yourself, and I feel that some of you could be into that as well. It's crazy how when we see the awards like maybe movie awards or music awards, and if you see the fashionistas, the people who are wearing the icons that are dressed up out there, and they have those the media is covering like who's the best dressed and who shocked and who flipped the trend or who is doing something this that and the third. Those different kind of categories they have for those icons and their styling and all of that. I'm picking up an energy of some Aries out there that's wearing some very unique bold styles, something which is futuristic. So some of you might be dressing up or playing around with some fashion, and you're kind of, there's athleisure, where these days where people are combining leisurely clothes with athletic clothes. So that's one kind of a unique trend, which I feel that fits into this unique styling categories. Some of you might be dressing up boldly, and I do see some of you receiving comments and compliments, actually, not comments, compliments on your courage, on your boldness, on your uniqueness of styling as well. And when it comes to uniqueness, I would say that each of us is so unique, irrespective of which country, culture we come from. That itself is our uniqueness, right? Even within a country, there are so many cultures, there's so many dialects, there's so many food, there's so much difference. And I feel like even though we could be from the same community, we're still so different because of the places we grew up, the schools we went to, the people we grew up with and all of that. So even within a community, there is such micro differences, macro differences as well. So each of us stand out in our own unique ways, irrespective of you're an Aries or not. I remember one of my friends, about 7, 8 years back, she was working in a corporate job and she left that corporate job because she was so drawn to becoming a pet artist, pet portraits. She started doing pet portraits and then she became a huge sensation in her town in 5, 6 years, So from corporate to becoming a pet portrait artist is no small journey, and then she stood out in the way she did those portraits. So, so embrace your uniqueness, Aries. You being unique actually is a magical gift. And for those of you who are interested in watching a movie in regards to this, you can watch Encanto. You will totally relate to what uniqueness is. Mirabel, the Madrigal, and that character in that movie, I loved her so much. She's so unique. She's so strong. She's so courageous in her own right, and she realizes that everybody in her family is has some gift or the other, and she doesn't have a gift, but then her gift is her kindness, her strength, her courage, her empathy, how she holds the family together. So it's a beautiful movie. that brings out these characteristics of uniqueness. So for those of you interested in catching a movie and learning something, you can watch Encanto, Encanto. So Aries, I do feel that maybe you're into dancing or music and you have a new signature style that you have created, something that might get really popular or even might become a trademark of yours in time to come. I also feel that some of you might be creating something, maybe a business, which is a very small niche, and it's like you're combining things. There's a unique combination or a unique style, a unique style of your personality, your skills, whoever you are. I feel that you're creating something, maybe a business. There are stores like Etsy, there are online stores like Etsy, this Kickstarter. All of those stores are exactly that, because the vendors that are there, they have their unique products that I want to sell. It's not that they are mass producing things, but they are just unique creators. This put a beautiful spin on the existing stuff, but they just create unique products, and that reflects their identity, their individuality. They don't mass produce things, but we love it for that. I buy a lot uh, of products from Etsy that are so unique, and I love it, each one of them. So now, when it comes to the energies, yeah, of course, Aries, you are the fire energy. So there's huge fire element. There's lots of shades of yellow in this, yellow and red, which reflect fire energy, and Mars energy. Red is the Mars passion and courage. There's red hair also. Now, there's also green. Green is for growth. There's frogs, there's butterflies, and like I mentioned, you have the tadpole. Yeah, energy in the card where it says tadpole, photo star cloud, remember? Like, so that tadpole is now turning to a frog. If you see, that's such a beautiful way to end the reading. The tadpole has become a frog, not just a frog, ordinary frog, but a frog with wings. This frog is ready to fly, and so are you, Aries. So there is something unique about you, your unique signature. Be proud of it. Be proud of the out of the box thinking that you have. This is also very airy element. So the uniqueness of your ideas, the way you communicate, um, and the way you carry yourself, and the way you think, and everything about each one of us is unique. And I feel at this point it's highlighted for you. Um, And the good thing, I feel that whatever you are doing right now, Aries, is just to become the best version of your own self. You're not competing with anybody. You're not even competing with your past self. You are just, you just want to grow. You just want to, reach your highest potential. That's all. You're not interested in beating other people at their game or competing with other people for a spot or spotlight. No, the only caveat with this is that, yeah, your out of the box thinking is very much appreciated, but don't let that swing you into feeling like that's the only way to go, because otherwise people might see you as being arrogant or too rigid with your thoughts and processes. And sometimes you could also feel like, this is the only idea, this is the best idea around, and you might not want to collaborate with other people. Whereas, most of the time, especially if you're in corporate or if you are in business, people want a leader that is more, a people's person who they can look up to, that kind of leadership style. Yes, independence is very much appreciated, but then a leadership style that kind of brings everybody together, listens to everybody's opinion, incorporates that into the idea is something that people absolutely love, and they feel like they're part of the team. So if you are part of a team, yes, your ideas are game changers, but don't uh, don't just run with your own idea. Don't forget to include other people and their ideas as well. And I feel that with that in mind, you will be, you will inspire a lot of people, your leadership qualities, and your leadership qualities is something that people will look up to. and you will grow. You will find a lot of opportunities to showcase your talents, your skills, and and grow. So beautiful energies here. So Aries, those were your messages, and hope you enjoyed them.